Ted Bowman with sixmiletech.com, Drupal Training and Consulting. I'm Ted Bow on Drupal.org. Today I'm going to be showing you how to embed a Entityform type onto a node so that it can act somewhat like web forms, where you have the regular node and then you have a form that the user can fill out. So here's our list of entity forms. The one we're going to be working with is the contest entry form entity form. We're going to make a little contest entry form that can be attached to the contest content type that we're making. So if I hit the submit link, it's just 3 fields: your email, first name, and last name. Your email and your first name are required. So if I want to embed this on a content type, I will look at my content types. I have one called contest here. I'm going to manage the fields. So you have to have the entity reference module enabled for this to work. So I'm going to select entity reference and I'm going to say entry form. And I'm going to select list. It probably depends on how many entity forms you actually have on your site on how you want to select them. So I'm going to save this. And right here I have to tell it that I want it to select an Entityform type, not an entity form. An entity form is actually the submission, and an Entityform type is the form that will be submitted. So we're going to leave the entity selection mode at bundles and save the field settings. And we're going to make this a required field. And so this is the instructions for the user who will be adding the node and deciding which form to show. So we'll say, please select the form to show. And we're going to have no default value, and we'll save the settings. So now when we go to add content, we'll add a contest, and let's name this contest Great Contest, and we can put some content there. And now we have to select the entry form, which is our entity form reference. So let's select contest entry form, and let's save that. So if you'll notice right now, it just tells us the title of the form. So we have to change that to actually show the form. So how we do that is to go back to structure, content types, and now we go to manage display, because remember the form is showing when you're viewing the node. So we go to manage display, and we can leave all of our other fields the same. We just have body in this case, but we want to change the entry form to show a rendered entity. And then over here you have to do your settings. So we're not going to show links. Entity forms don't have links in the way that nodes do. Click update, and let's click save. So if we go back to our great contest, we will now see the contest entry form, and we will see the entry form label here, which probably doesn't make much sense, so we can get rid of that by going back to our structure, content types, and manage display, and let's hide the label and save. So now when we look at the Great Contest node, we see our contest entry form down here. So we can put our email in, our name, and submit it. So we can change this page in the Entityform type to have a different message here. You can have rules on the Entityform type to say email somebody when a entry form is submitted, but this is the basic idea of how you embed a Entityform onto a node. So a couple main things to remember is we're looking at the manage fields here, that you have to have the entity reference module enabled to actually be able to embed the entity form type onto your node content type. And then we use select list, but you can use other ways to select the particular entity form. And then on manage display, you have to make sure that the format is rendered entity, and you have to click this gear here for the settings, and I would recommend unchecking show links. And you have to update this form once, even though you're not selecting anything else. You have to update it to save it, and then save the form here. Thanks for watching. There are more videos at 6miletech.com. Follow us on Twitter at 6miletech, or subscribe to the 6miletech YouTube channel for more updates. Thanks.